We're starting
sheep?
on sheep, yeah.
Okay, so we'll let them get their steers and their cattle put
We've
up.
got-
And next thing up is going to be our sheep.
Not too many sheep. And goats about the same. So
Yeah,
I don't know. We may get through by noon.
might be.
Got 4 classes of sheep, and no, we got 7 classes of sheep, and goats got 6 classes.
Yeah.
So,
And you know, with the sheep this year, we got a hair sheep this year.
a hair
A hair sheep.
as opposed to a hairless.
No, as
opposed to wool.
Wool, yeah.
Ah, okay.
That's why Nate Miller is in a class by
Okay,
himself.
first class
Okay.
of our sheep today is going to be Nathan Miller. It's going to be a single entry in that class.
I think he'll even be breed champion.
Did you find any?
Going in at 137
Did you find a hair sheep in the information of the Oklahoma State University?
I think that might have been the one thing.
I don't think I didn't find one either.
Yeah, I think that was the one that I forgot to look up.
So a hair sheep is bred for probably the meat, wouldn't you think?
It might still be hair.
I know that there is the Dorper. Is that the Dorper? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the Dorper. Yeah, they are bred for the meat. Difference in color is merely a matter of preference for each breeder. Black-headed breeders constitute 85% of the members of the Dorper Sheep Breeders Society of South Africa. And I think this Dorper, which is what this is also part Spanish. Meat goat? Nope, that's the goats.
Yeah, that's goats.
So
that thing doesn't look 137 pounds.
That's looks like a Hampshire, but not.
Yeah.
137 pounds? Is that what it's supposed to weigh?
That's what it's supposed to weigh. It doesn't look that way. I do like how it's got that black going on its face.
Yeah. Kind of a little mask.
Yeah.
Stripe, white stripe down the middle and black mask on each side.
Yep. Oh, I need to update.
Very nice single hair sheep to start the sheep show off with. And one that I think does a lot of things right. Comes out really wide, square at the ground, and really big up high with a nice fresh touch to him or to her, and really, really good and fresh to the center part of her body and a good turn to her rib. I'd probably like to clean this one up just a little bit in terms of condition. Maybe just a little bit overdone there, but a really high quality one that's extremely wide, busted open, and really fresh handling.
So Nathan Miller wins.
Yep.
Okay, winning that class will be Nathan Miller. He'll also be the breed champion in that.
Yep. He's breed champion too.
Yep.
There's only one in the
All right, now
breed.
we'll go into class 2. This will be medium wool. In class 2, we have Cassidy Butler, Emma Ariano, Sarayli Shigoda, and Ella Green.
I think the majority of these sheep
These
is
medium wool sheep are weigh in anywhere from
Hampshire
113
and
pounds
Yorkshire, at least according to
119
the man who knows,
Yep. Yeah, and the
Mr.
rest of these are all
Scott Strawn.
medium wool.
Medium wool class 2, Cassidy Butler, Emma Ariano, Sarah Lee Shigoda, and Ella Ream,
Yeah.
sorry. Range and weights, pretty broad, 186 to 238.
John, that's the
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's the exhibitor number.
113 to 119.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's pretty broad weight
This year, our
difference.
sheep meat goat superintendent is Jared George. His assistant's Candy Butler.
And Wes Beal helping out in the ring today.
It looks like we wrangled Wes Beal in to help us in the ring today too, so I appreciate it. Thanks, Wes.
Like mind, think alike. Jeremy Anderson on the microphone. Want to thank our sponsors.
Again, I'll go ahead and introduce our judge this year. Our judge is Macon Stork from Hyco, Texas.
Heiko.
Owns Stork Livestock. Owned it for, it's been about 8 years, he told me. He's also a graduate from Tarleton, was on the national championship meat judging team. Again, let's go ahead and give him a round of applause and thank him for coming and judging our show for us this year.
They have other jobs, do they
Class
not?
two,
Most
we have
judges.
Right, yeah, most of them do.
Mhm.
Usually ag teachers.
Are they?
Yeah. Because I remember there was a show we were going to go to, and Joe Bonnie LeCompte was the judge for it.
Okay.
I don't think we ended up going to. I think it was like weather or something like that. But yeah, especially a lot with those jackpots, is they get ag teachers to come in and do it.
Well, that little girl has got a well-trained one, the little dark lamb.
Yeah, that's a really dark one.
Mm-hmm. She didn't have to do a thing.
No.
I bet that is Emma Ariana.
No, I think that is Ella Ream,
Okay.
I think.
She's smiling big,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. That's kind of an interesting looking lamb, isn't it? That
Yeah.
dark color.
Yeah, all her older brothers and sisters all showed
Yeah.
sheep, yeah. Yeah, so we got Ella Ream in there, Emma Ariano behind her, Cassidy Butler, and Sarah Lee Shigoda. And he's placing them, it looks like. Having a bit of confusion out there.
Well, I don't know how they understand the hand signals anyhow.
Yeah, you know, a lot of them use the same hand signals, and so it's pretty easy to figure it out, but I don't know, this guy's kind of has some different ones. Like, especially when he was doing the showmanship and he was acting like he was signaling an airplane to land. Okay. If I were a betting person, I think those two in the middle have already been placed. Yeah. So that's going to be
Very
Ella
nice pair to
Ream
start with
first.
here, and there's some similarities between them. The one that wins, I think, does so just in terms of freshness and body and feel. He's a little more appropriate there on his underline and through his rear flank. Touch is really nice up high, really fresh. Really, really good presented one there to win the class. The one that comes in two handles maybe just a touch harder and maybe a little more
Emma
expressive.
Ariano
is
the
a little
winner.
drier and harsher there in his flank, not quite as stout, powerful when you get right behind that one. The one that comes in three is a really good designed one, got good extension and and length up high, gets around and moves really, really well. Just gets outpowered by the one that comes in head, and it's especially the class winner. The one that rounds the class out with, that one touches really, really well. It's really round body, good rib cage, just a little more immature in terms of dimension and fill, but a really nice one around the class out with.
Okay. Emma Ariano, Cassidy Butler, Sarah Lee Shigoda, Ella
Cassidy
Ream.
Butler second,
Yep.
Sarah Lee Shigoda third, and Ella Ream fourth. That's class 2, your medium wool sheep.
All right.
Class 3, medium wool sheep.
I like the fourth
Chloe
one.
Richardson,
Had that black color.
Katie Butler,
Yeah.
Wyatt
Different.
Williams, and Evelyn Ariano.
That's
These medium wool
you don't
sheep
see a
are
lot of,
weighing
especially
anywhere
with
from
goats and sheep, you don't see a
121
lot of
pounds
darker
to
colored ones.
129
Yeah.
pounds.
But I always think it's nice just to see them whenever they do come around.
Yeah. So, were they Hampshires, all of them?
Like I said earlier, our junior board
Not sure.
are the ones that go around and talk to our buyers and invite them to the meal tomorrow that we always have, the steak dinner at noon. And then we'll have the sale, Pretty Champion starting at 1, and then we'll kick off the sale right after that.
So,
On the
in
junior board
this
year,
class,
we have Cassidy Butler,
we got
Maddie Shigadance, Austin Merrick, Tyler Cook, Kyle Merrick, Carson Pribble, Tatum O'Quinn, and Rayleigh Law.
I'm not sure who he was talking about.
The junior board.
Ah.
Yeah.
This class is Chloe Richardson, Katie Butler, Wyatt Williams, and Evelyn Ariana. So,
Oh, man, that is her. Whenever I was showing, I showed with Chloe's older brother, Dalton. And way back when, she was just tiny.
oh really?
I didn't realize that was her out there. I feel old now.
May have to stand up. People are gathering around the ring here.
Yeah.
You're listening to KEYE 96.7 FM and AM 1400
Chloe Richardson,
and 93.7 My FM.
Wyatt Williams, and Evelyn Ariano.
Ochiltree County Junior Livestock Show today. The sale is tomorrow. We're in the sheep division. We've had one class already that had only one in it. We're in the second class now. Weight on these is 113 to 119. How did they divide these up? That one was a hair by itself.
Yeah.
Had a hair breed.
So this is class 3, 120 to 129.
Mr. Scott Strong, good
Hey.
to have you with us.
Yeah, I thought I'd step in and we can talk sheep if you want to a little
Sure,
bit.
let's do. Let's do. What is a hair sheep?
Well, there's a breed of sheep. There's several breeds of sheep that are called hair sheep, and if you look at their wool, it's more like hair.
Okay.
Of course, wool is hair, but it has a crimp to it, and that's why it feels like it does. But the hair breeds of sheep don't have to be shorn because it's actual hair on them, but they're raised primarily for their meat characteristics.
Yeah.
And one breed is called Dorper.
Yes.
You've maybe heard of Barbados sheep before. But,
No.
Anyway, the Dorper's the most common around here that you'll see. And in fact, that one that has it come in already?
Yes, it was first one in.
Yeah, it was a Dorper. But it has to show alone because it's just so unique and different.
Mm-hmm.
These are medium wool sheep. And they're not hair sheep, but these are primarily Hampshire sheep with pot, maybe a little bit of Suffolk background. But the primary breed on the medium wools is Hampshire.
Uh-huh. And I think you said that there were several Yorkshires as well. in the show?
That's hogs.
Oh, that's right.
Hampshires.
And
There's Hampshire hogs too. There's Hampshire sheep and there's Hampshire hogs.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Even Hereford hogs, aren't there?
Yes, there's Hereford hogs, and they're actually colored like a Hereford cattle.
Yeah.
They'll have red back and white belly and white on the face. And
hence the name, probably.
yes, I believe so.
Yeah. So the ones out there now are sheared for their wool. The first one that came in the Class 1 was a Dorper, and it was by itself. It was a hare, and they are bred for mutton, right?
Right.
For the
These are all meat breeds.
Are they?
These Hampshires, they're medium wools because when you look at a wool fiber, you have fine wool breeds and you have medium wool breeds. And we don't have any fine wool breeds here, but the kids can show them. But the fine wool breeds are bred for the wool.
Okay.
And meat is their secondary thing.
Okay.
But these medium wool breeds are bred primarily and raised in the big world as meat, sheep, and the wool is secondary. But yeah, it still has a value.
So the fine wool is better than the medium wool
as far as wool quality.
Yeah.
But the medium wool is probably better for meat than the fine wool.
Yeah.
Got extra bone and fuzz down low, and I think that one does a great job and presented very, very well by the young lady on the front of her. The one that comes in too has got a little more length and extension, and I do like that about this particular weather. This one just gets a little piecier down his top, but maybe doesn't handle quite as full and as expressive as the one that comes ahead. And the one that comes in 3, that's probably the hardest touching of the top trio. Just one that gets a little drier and harsher about her center body, and we'd like to kind of add a little spread and shape there through his rib, and especially up front there in his forehead. The one that rounds the class out, that's the most over-conditioned one of the group. Very level top, really good build, just a little over-conditioned, not quite as expressive and trick out as the trio that comes ahead, but a really, really nice class.
So what do we got as winners on that?
All right, so first place is Katie Butler, second place Wyatt Williams,
second.
Evelyn Ariano
Chloe Richardson,
is third place,
class 3.
and Chloe Richardson rounding out the class in fourth place.
Are you a good judge of sheep, Scott?
I can judge them. I've judged sheep shows.
Have you?
I've judged sheep shows, hog shows, cattle shows.
Goats?
Goats. I've judged county shows. I've judged, it's been a while, but I've judged down in Gray County in Pampa. I've judged over in Dalhart. I've judged down in Tulia.
Do you enjoy it?
I enjoy it. I enjoy judging. If I had my way, I'd judge cattle.
Yeah.
Cattle, I really like cattle, but I like ruminant animals. I like sheep and goats and cattle. But I like hogs. We got a lot of kids that show hogs.
Yeah, we do.
And so I learned hogs over time, and of course some people say, yeah, you still got a lot more to learn. But this show deal is always changing.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fickle business, to be honest, when you look at showing, because there's always trends and different things that come along
right.
that you kind of have to adjust for. And show the youth shows compared to the real world can kind of get crossways, but a lot of times they can line up too. Because what we're really raising here is kids.
Yeah.
And these animals a lot of times are just a vehicle for the kids.
Looking at those sheep out there.
Yeah.
You got one black-haired, and in the other class, class 2, they had a black hair, and came in last place. What is is that a different breed or?
No, it's a medium wool breed, but a lot of times they'll almost be blue in color, but they just have more black wool fiber. And there's not really, there's some differences. It's interesting, and I don't know where that comes from, but a lot of those blue sheep, as they call them, are a little bit lighter muscle. But they're bred the same as these others, but ever so often they'll come out that way.
I was looking at the hindquarters. His don't look as developed as the others.
That's right. A lot of those blue sheep are known for not having as much leg on them, as they'll say.
So, Scott, you were talking about different trends and stuff. What's the biggest change you've seen since you started?
In what?
As far as as far as livestock shows go.
Oh my gosh, that's still pretty broad. You know, it changes in cattle, sheep, goats. You know, right now I see the trend towards these animals carrying a lot more finish or fat on them than we did. We go through a period of time where they were real lean, hardly any fat on them whatsoever. But these animals now have a lot more fat on them and quality as far as that goes.
How does that happen that you change?
Well, it kind of goes along with what the industry might want, you know.
From a commercial standpoint?
From a commercial standpoint. You know, if you're out there feeding cattle or hogs, you know, if you go out to like this feed yard, these cattle are fat.
Yeah.
And you go.
What do they grade out at? 70%?
Also, KEYE.
Well, you're talking about yield grade. Most of them probably in that average. I don't know what the average yield grade is across the U.S. on fat cattle now, but I'm going to say 2 to 3 range maybe.
Uh-huh.
You know, yield grade 1 is the heaviest muscle, leanest you can get. Yield grade 5 is about as light muscle and fat as you can get. Super fat, light muscle. And so you want to get in the middle because you still have, because yield grade is a factor of muscle and fat and the combination thereof, and that formula is based on that. So you can have a big old ribeye that's lean, and that's going to be a yield grade 1.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a tiny little ribeye meat, but it has a big old rind of fat, and that's a 5.
You know, I used to like ribeyes and the fat, and the older I got, I seemed to go to the New York strip because there was more flavor, less fat and more flavor. I don't know.
And everybody should know that the New York strip is the large side of a T-bone steak.
Is it?
Yeah. And what happens is they pull that tenderloin out of, a lot of times you hear beef tenderloin.
Yes.
And so that small side of the T-bone
Is the
tenderloin.
tenderloin.
So you pull that out, you no longer have a T-bone steak.
I see.
Now you got a New York strip.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's the large side of a T-bone.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's great. You know, I love New York strip.
I do too.
Because I like
it's
T-bone
a different
steak.
consistency. It's a tighter consistency than the ribeye,
Yes.
and certainly than the tenderloin.
And the ribeye is not the same as the tenderloin. But if you eat a T-bone steak, that small side is always more tender.
Yeah.
If you notice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That little small side of
Yeah.
the T-bone.
On unfed cattle, you can really tell the difference.
Absolutely.
Very close on the top pair. Where the sword is that just got a little more power from behind and bigger hip and square, a little more lower leg and stifle than the one that comes in too. This is a really good outline.
So anyway, I'm going to
extra extension,
take off
extra
again.
look.
Okay.
That's all right. I'll come back by.
You bet. Thanks for coming.
You bet. Thanks.
And then maybe just lacks a little power from behind, wants to get just a little coarser and deeper up front, but a really, really nice one to be in too. The one that comes in 3, a little better looking as far as chest and shoulders. The one that comes ahead of it, just a little rougher and piecier down the top and maybe doesn't blend quite as well as is the top hair. The one that comes in 4 just gets a little deeper and plainer when you get off to the side, and then when you step right in behind, one that just doesn't have quite the power and mass is the ones that come ahead. The one that comes in 5 is a really good looking, good built one, gets around the ring really well, sound, functional one. We just got to have more of that one in terms of muscle and dimension to move up any higher. It's a really nice class.
All right, placings for that for Class 4 of the medium wool sheep. First place, Emily Butler. Second place, Isaac Ariano. Third place, Striven Shigoda. And fourth place, Wyatt Williams. Rounding out the class in fifth place is Sarah Lee Shigoda.
Who was second?
Isaac Ariano.
So we've gone through 4 classes.
Yep. And now we're moving on to Class 5 of medium wools.
Nathan Miller.
Has 5 entries in it.
Ariano, Tatum Holmes.
It was interesting discussing the difference between medium wools and fine wools and the just plain old hair sheep that are breed strictly for mutton. Medium wools are somewhat for their wool, and secondarily for their, or pretty much even for their meat. And then have we got a fine wool? We don't. They're all medium wools, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all medium wools this year. In the ring right now, we got Navia Carranza, Nathan Miller, Emma Ariano, Tatum Holmes, and Dalton Lesperance. Really hit that accent there.
Yeah, I got
myself.
that. Yeah. Well, how many we got out there? 6, 7?
Well, that's not right. Should just. Oh, somebody made a goof up.
2, 4, 5
There should
in
only be
class
5 out there.
5. Reckon they got class 7 stuck in there with it. There's 7 there. Whoops!
Yeah.
No, now they're coming out.
Yeah, they got it sorted out now.
Yeah, they had took 2 of them out.
Yeah.
That might have been. Did you see who that was?
No.
Huh. Anyway, we're on class 5 medium wools, 141 to 145, and they do look pretty much like clones out there.
Oh yeah.
The first 2 are a little lighter
taller.
colored, and the last 3 are a little grayer.
Tatum Holmes and Dalton Westbrook. Weighing in anywhere from 141 to 145 pounds.
Dalton Lesperance and Nathan Miller sitting at the top of the class right now. Nathan taking his lamb out, walking it around, get it reset.
So they came in that order, and he hadn't placed any yet, has he?
Right, no, yeah. He hasn't placed any yet.
Do they like for them to take them out of and reset them?
You try to do it when the judge isn't looking.
No, okay.
So, I mean, if your animal walks really well, it might help you out. But for the most part, you try to do that when the judge isn't looking, so that way whenever he goes to look at you, he's not having to worry about, if they're set yet or not.
One's trying to run away, but she got him hauled in.
Yeah.
Lesperance lamb just pretty well does what he wants him to.
Yeah, he always gets really good lambs. He gets them from, I believe, Kevin Walker.
Okay.
Could be wrong on that, but.
Well trained, I can say that for
Yeah.
him. Miller's, the other 3 are all smaller girls, and have a little trouble with all of them, aren't they?
Yeah. Nathan and Dalton have both been showing for a long time.
Wes Beal out there helping to get Emma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get hers back in line. Pretty good difference between Dalton's and Nathan's, though, height-wise, leg-wise.
Yeah, Nathan's looks a little bit, to me, just a little bit skinnier.
Yeah. Well,
Taller.
he's certainly not as low on the ground.
No. I mean, that's something that's always.
And just looking at him, you wouldn't think that Dalton's was the lightest weight. Of course, there's only 2 pounds difference, or 3 between the heaviest and the
Yeah, no, that the animals that look just have really, really long legs, and they're kind of skinnier. I just don't really like the look of them. I don't know. It always. And then whenever I'd see them and they place first or something like that, it would just confuse me.
So he's placing Nathan
in 5th place.
So the last ones are the better ones, huh?
Yeah.
And then
Navia Carranza.
Yep. And trying to get one to move is
Gary Murray helping her out on that one. That is Emma
Ariana. And that leaves
Tatum Holmes and Dalton Westbrook.
Yep. Yeah, old Dalton's his just stands there.
Yeah.
Doesn't move.
He's having them walk around one more time, just getting a look at them.
They're both pretty well trained animals.
Yeah.
Tatum's and Dalton's. What are you betting on?
I'm thinking Dalton's. And I'm taking a gander here, but I'm thinking he might do well and go into senior show.
You got it right.
Not necessarily
Dalton
a matched
Leopard.
pair on top, but I think it's the two highest quality individuals of the class. And like I said, there's some differences. The one we're going to start with, maybe just a little over-conditioned and a little more moderate and stouter than the one that comes behind, but for one that touches extremely well as far as shape and dimension and mass, and you get off to the side, and that one's appropriate in terms of fill and power, and gets around and moves really, really well. The heavy bone, really, really good looking when it comes into, that one's just a little rawer in terms of condition and touch right now. Very shapely and expressive, just got to have a little more to him right now. And I think better days are ahead if we get a little more cover and condition there, but that is a very, very good looking one that props up really, really well on some big, big feeding legs. The one that comes in 3, that's the biggest back by a large margin, and huge turn to rib and cage, and just gets a little deeper up front as we proportion back, and maybe a little overdone in terms of condition to move up any higher. The one that comes in 4, that's a really good design one that's got some neat pieces. It just honestly wants to wedge just a little bit in the wrong way. I mean, we get just a little bit bulkier up front and a little skinnier as we get right behind her. And the one that rounds the class out with is really up, out, real cool looking and neat built. Just got to have more to that one to move up any higher in terms of maturity and chub. But really, really nice class.
All right, once again, those placings are 1st place, Dalton Lesperance, 2nd place, Tatum Holmes, 3rd place, Emma Ariano, 4th place, Nevaeh Carranza, and 5th place, Nathan Miller. Class 5 leaving the ring. Class 6 coming back in, or coming in, I guess. Dalton Lesperance, Avery Shigoda, Cassidy Butler, and Avery Shigoda.
Well, Dalton's coming back in anyhow.
Yeah.
These sheep are weighing anywhere from 146 pounds to
Got time to mention my sponsors of the livestock show. We really appreciate these people year in, year out. They're always there to help us out. Got one that's a little bit upset. A few tears there, but that's the way it goes.
Yep.
But, yeah, we're being brought to you courtesy of Hargis Trucking, Western Equipment, Lemon Law Firm, Boxwell Brothers, United Food Store, Perryton Ochiltree Chamber of Commerce, Perryton Insurance, Interstate Bank, Motor Parts,
Also want to thank Perry
First
from
Bank
Educated
Southwest,
and all the, shades
Equity
that people are
Exchange,
using in the canal.
Plains Land Bank,
Goats people use up
Panhandle
there.
Producers and Royalty Owners Association, Ochiltree County General Hospital, and Scribner Construction.
Got a little table set up over here to you can go buy you a sprayer if you need some supplies. You can buy them right over there. So we want to thank Perry and Equity for everything they do for the stock show every year. And let's give them a round of applause.
Jeremy giving some credit. Jeremy Anderson on the mic. Tommy Butler's the show superintendent. Stephen Holmes also. Assistant superintendent is Gary Murray. Macon Stork is the judge.
Yep.
And we are in Class 6 of the medium wolves.
After this, we got one more class to go. Then it's on to breed and grand champion.
And we're moving along.
Yeah.
We still got the entire goat show to go.
Yeah.
So it's going to be after 12 before we get this first half or first portion of it. We'll be taking a break after the goat show, and I don't know how long they'll break, but they've got a lot of pigs to show too.
Oh, yeah.
Depends on what time they get through. You could be doing the latter part of this thing
All right.
all by yourself. You don't like to talk, do you?
Oh, no, never.
Remember last year you had, I left, and who was here with you?
It was me and Thomas Beal.
Yeah.
We were making jokes the
Jokes
whole time.
the whole time, and they were pretty corny. Pretty corny.
I remember you came back in here. You had forgotten something. You came back and looked at us and said, what are you all doing? Or you didn't seem too impressed with our jokes.
Well, they were okay.
Yeah. No, it seems like we're kind of on the same pace we were last year as far as how long classes are taken.
Once again, out in the ring is Dalton Lesperance, Avery Shigoda, Cassidy Butler, and Avery Shigoda. Now, no, she isn't showing both of them. Who is the young lady with the red hair? That must be.
I feel like that's a Ream girl. Well, that could be wrong.
I think she's showing the second one
Let's see,
for
237.
Avery Shigoda.
Adeline Ream is showing the second one for
Avery. Got a good crowd here today. Stands are pretty full, and lots of people just standing around and watching and talking. And it's
the social event of the year.
Yeah, you might need a little bit of. Oh, there's some nachos over there. I forgot all about those.
Oh yeah. Well, you need to get the chili topping on it too.
No.
Oh.
That's not a nacho.
Okay.
It isn't a nacho without the jalapeno. Is what it makes a nacho.
Gotcha.
You're eating chili, not nachos, when you put chili on. I get nachos just about every basketball game I do.
Really?
Yep. Some of them are better than others. I kind of like the nachos. Where was it? Borga, because their cheese has a bite to it, as well as the jalapenos. Comes with the bite. I don't know what's more expensive than that.
So you like more of the spicier type
I'm a
stuff.
spicy guy.
You know, I like it, but not too much of it.
Sriracha is great stuff.
I'm not saying that one's perfect, but I think all things being said, and overall that one does just a little more right for me. And to start with, I'd like to clean that one up through the front end just a little bit. Wants to get just a little deeper and coarser there through her chest and hard, especially compared to the one that comes in second. But as far as just true base width, handle, bone, and just overall feature, that one has a little bit of advantage there. The one that comes in two props up maybe a little cooler looking, especially through the front third of his skeleton, but one that when you get on top is just a little rawer and maybe not quite as full there through his rear flank and stifle and lacks just a little bit of bone and width compared to the one that beats him. The one that comes in three, that's the stoutest one in the whole class, but just gets a little over-conditioned, probably a little too full when we get off to the side, but a really level top, just good balanced one to be in third. The one that comes in four just gets out-powered. That one's just not quite as stout up high, not quite as stout leaving yet. We just need to get some pounds and some weight on that one to move up any higher, but a really nice one.
All right, so
Okay, class 6
first
results.
place, Cassidy Butler.
Butler first, Dalton Lesperance second,
Dalton
Avery
Lesperance
Shigoda
second,
third, and Avery Shigoda fourth.
and Avery Shigoda taking
All right,
third
class
and
7, the
fourth
last
place.
class is a medium wool sheep. In class 7 we have
Back
Adlin
to food.
Green. or Adlin
I
Green,
can't eat
sorry.
Asian food without
And
some hot
Tatum
sauce.
Holmes.
Really?
No.
Huh.
Oh.
Playing
Yeah.
at a 160
My
and
favorite Asian food
165,
is Thai.
class 7.
Oh, yeah.
But I really like Vietnamese pho soup.
Oh,
It isn't pho, it's pho.
yeah. You know,
Seems kind of strange to me, but
Yeah.
that's what it's supposed to be called.
I used to not be too big of a fan of sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but started eating it. That kind of
I love the green hot topping.
Oh, the wasabi.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Did you ever see? I know this is just totally off topic, but did you ever see the second Cars movie?
No.
Well, they went to Japan in it, and Mater the tow truck.
Yes.
He thought it was mint ice cream. Ate the whole thing. It was funny.
Never been out of the state of Wyoming or wherever that first one was
Yeah.
made. I don't know where it was. Nevada, someplace
Yeah.
like that. We're in class
Oh, we're in class 7. I need to catch up here.
Adeline Ream and Tatum Holmes. I didn't write down the winners of class 6.
All right. Well,
There they are.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 was Cassidy Butler. 2, Dalton Lesperance. 3, Avery Shigoda.
and fourth place was Avery Shigoda. She
And
was third and fourth.
3rd and 4th, yeah. Which one was she showing?
I couldn't tell you.
Anyway, we're in class 7 with Adeline Ream and Tatum Holmes.
And I think as far as just proportions and build and overall handle quality, that's probably mostly appropriate that we've seen all day. And I mean, that was really wide, coming and going. Handles very, very good. Extremely well presented one. It does a great job in this class. The one that comes into really neat, cool off to the side, really elevated, really shallow. This gets a little more refined in terms of bone and skeleton compared to the one that comes ahead, and also just lacks a little bit of power down the top. But really nice pair there for our last spot.
So first place is going to be Tatum Holmes, and second place Adeline Ream.
All right, that's all the classes. And now we'll go to the breed champion, reserve breed, and then the grand and the reserve grand, and then the showmanship, junior and senior. And then it's on to the goats.
Okay, results for class 7. Tatum Holmes first, Adeline Ream second. All right, that's going to wrap up all our classes there. So now we're going to do the breed champion, medium wool sheep. So out of class 2, need Emma Ariano. Class 3, Katie Butler. Class 4, Emily Butler. Class 5, Dalton Lesperance. Class 6, Cassidy Butler, and Class 7, Tatum Holmes. That'll be for breed champion medium wool sheep.
All right, so coming in, going for breed champion. If you didn't hear Mr. Anderson there on the PA system, Dalton Lesperance coming out of Class 5, Cassidy Butler coming out of Class 6, and Tatum Holmes coming out of Class 7. And then out of Class 2, Emma Ariano, Katie Butler out of Class 3, and Emily Butler out of Class 4. They're going to be going in
Class 2, Emma Ariano. Class 3, Katie Butler. Class 4, Emily Butler. Class 5, Dalton Lesperance. Class 6, Cassidy Butler. And Class 7, Tatum Holmes.
They're all finally making their way into the ring. Tatum Holmes just stayed in, though.
Also, I remind everybody,
she's going to move in behind Cassidy Butler.
They got Frito pie. Joe looks like he got one back here with his jalapenos and everything. He said it's real good, so make sure you make it over there and support them. We will take, after the goat show, we'll take a 30-minute lunch break before we start the pig show. That'll be after the goat show.
We get 30 minutes.
30 minutes. I'm all right with 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think we can get something to eat.
Yeah. I don't know. I still got to work on my second biscuit here.
That's going to be a little bit frosty.
Oh, it's been frosty for a while. I was having some issues with my first one. It was a little tough.
Yeah.
I went over and asked them for a plastic knife. They didn't have any, so.
Well, if you'd have asked me, I could have given you my knife. That's what I used.
Man.
Is that one, have you tried it? Here.
No, I haven't tried it yet.
There's the knife.
Thank you.
I just ate the top off of my other one.
Yeah.
Didn't try the bottom.
Well, I could tear it apart at least.
That's good.
All right. Might not need your knife then, John.
All right. Well, I licked it, so you might not. We got us a getaway, and bless her little heart, she's
not having a fun time.
No. Caught by West Beal, putting the halter back on.
Yeah.
Breed drive for a medium wool lambs.
Ought to give him a
Class 2,
hand.
Ariano. Class 3, Katie Butler.
Oh, he knocked her shoe off. She'd really have a tough time.
Dalton Lesperance. Class 6, Cassidy Butler. And Class 7, Tatum Holmes. Breed drive.
All right. So the judge is going down the line now. Just got done with.
Do you know all of them?
I know the three kind of in the middle. I know Cassidy Butler and Dalton Lesperance, and then I think that's
the little Holmes girl on the far end.
right. Yeah, I was thinking of the other girl in the pink shirt.
Tatum Holmes. And near side is Emma Ariano, I believe.
Yep. You know, Dalton was my pen neighbor in the 4-H barns. Whenever I was keeping animals over there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was right next to us, and there were a couple times where my goats got smart enough and jumped over into his pen.
Really?
Yeah.
Better food?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
We kind of pampered them a little bit.
Well, that sheep's acting real good for her now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all looking
but
good now.
she does have a halter on him as opposed to the others who just got the hand on them.
Yeah. Well, and with goats nowadays, they're doing more of the halters.
Are they?
Yeah. Which I think it makes them look better. Because whenever they would just do that chain with them for the goats, they would just clamp down on it pretty much, and they'd look bad. But with that halter, it's changing where your tension is.
Not as hard on their nose, is it?
No, not really. Taking his time with this class for sure.
Well, this is the winners, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's going for breed champion right now.
Well, that's right. We don't have the one hair sheep gets to go for the grand champion, doesn't it?
Right.
Only one in the breed. For those that just joined us, we're showing it on Facebook Live on KEYE's Facebook page. Have been all morning, will be this afternoon. And probably just leave it on through lunch, and you can sit and watch the empty
show ring.
It's got audio too.
Yep.
So you're hearing pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Is it hearing us?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what that little box is for.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Still trying to decide. Now he's made up his mind.
Very deep set to bring in for the drive, and honestly, quality is very, very deep, very consistent. You could go a lot of different ways. Honestly, it comes down just to strictly a preference, and in my mind, there's one that combines the most of everything. It's not the biggest, not maybe the stoutest in terms of handle, but very, very appropriate. I think condition is on point. His edges are really, really good. Balance is really well. Bones exceptional. Base width's really nice. Very sound and functional one. Young lady out of class 2 is going to be your champion.
And that's going to be, it's going to be a Butler.
Number 187 is Katie.
Katie Butler?
Katie Butler.
All right.
Class 3. And so second place will be Wyatt Williams coming in.
And coming in to replace her is Wyatt Williams. The second place lamb out of class, they were getting them out of class 3, weren't they?
I don't know.
Yeah, class 3.
So how does that decision come about?
Bringing in the second place?
Mm-hmm.
So I've never gotten like a formal explanation on it, but it's just giving that second place kid a chance.
Hey. Hollered out over there. Lady dropped her ribbon on the floor over here.
I was sitting there trying to figure out what was going on.
What I was hollering about?
More appropriate in terms of touch and condition to the rest out here, and I think does all those things with an extreme high degree of bone and stoutness, and maybe not the most cooperative one out here, but when we finally get him set and drove, pops up really, really well, really good design. Young lady with heavyweight.
And that's going to be Tatum Holmes.
Yeah, he was talking about not as cooperative as maybe, and Tatum Holmes was the little.
Tatum Holmes.
She's grinning pretty big now.
Yeah.
She was crying when that one went running off.
Yeah.
Tatum Holmes.
About that Stephen Holmes' daughter.
Champion. So we'll have Nathan Miller with his breed champion come out, and we'll have Katie Butler come back with her breed champion.
All right.
Grand champion lamb.
So Nathan Miller coming back into the show ring. And Katie Butler joining him.
So this is for the reserve breed.
No, this is for Grand Champion.
Grand Champion.
Yeah, Grand Champion sheep right here. And if Nathan gets Grand Champion, then Katie automatically gets reserve.
Yeah, Nathan was the
he was the lone wolf
single.
out there. Yeah.
The hair sheep.
Yep.
That's bred for the meat. You can sure see the difference in the structure, can't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the hair sheep to me looks a little bit more like a goat.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
And the hair sheep hindquarters really don't look as big as the hindquarters on the medium wool. And of course, medium wool is also bred for the meat.
Yeah.
And the hair.
Inner Drive, there's two extremely different individuals, but both very high quality and represent their divisions extremely well. The hair sheep we talked, that one's very productive, very good doing. Extreme in rib shape and dimension, maybe just a little overdone in terms of condition, but really, really big back, just maybe a little over conditioned up high to be quite as expressive as ideal today. Whereas the young ladies comes in and that one's really good build, balances really well, maybe not quite as stout up high or through center body as the young man's, but one that props up extremely well, great in her lines, and does a lot of things right, and that'll be your champion.
All right, that's going to be Katie Butler out of
Okay,
the
so
breed
Grand
champion for the medium
Katie
wolves.
Butler. And so we'll bring in Tatum Holmes to compete with Nathan for the reserve Grand Champion. Again,
And
Tatum
so
Holmes coming in.
Tatum Holmes coming in to
Katie
replace
Butler
her.
was the Grand Champion last.
So who are you going to pick on this one? I think the medium wool's going to win again.
I think so. I haven't seen many hair sheep before.
They're not pretty, are they?
No, they're not. They're not. Yeah, they look. I think they would do better if they were like with a goat or something. But just because it's
They've
the
got
same kind of
much scrawnier legs.
Yeah. I mean,
Young lady brings
and
one in
big
that's
belly.
extremely heavy structures and great looking and really good build when you get off to the side, get up high, and there's plenty of power, plenty of spread, and that'll be your reserve.
Yeah.
Called that
Reserve
one.
Grand Champion will be Tatum Holmes. So your Grand Champion sheep, Katie Butler. Reserve Grand, Tatum Holmes.
Tatum Holmes.
Okay, now we'll get those put back
Winning
up, and then
Reserve
we'll go
Grand
into our junior
and-
showmanship on the last. Junior showmanship.
Got junior showmanship coming up, and then the senior showmanship, and then the goats, which has how many did they have? 7 or 6 classes?
I think 6. Yeah, 6 classes.
So we still got the goats to go.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick break and hear 3 spots from our sponsors, and we'll be back for the showmanship of the sheep.
Okay, here we go with our junior showmanship. Junior showmanship of the lanes. showmanship. After junior showmanship concludes, and we'll roll into our senior showmanship, and into our goats. And then after the goat show, we'll have a 30-minute lunch break before we start the pigs.
One of them was construction. Yeah, maybe one of them has more than one. Huh? Yeah, it's 24. There's one in the wall. All right. And I wasn't into it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't good at it. But cattle are so darn big, you know, if you're small, you're not going to get them to move.
No, yeah. That's what always just shocks me whenever they got these teeny tiny kids going in there with those cattle.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, you never know whether they actually trained them or whether the parents. I'm sure the parents had to help.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you don't train a big old steer.
I didn't expect Cindy Chickadance to be halter breaking her. Thing would drag her around. Goodness.
Yep. But now, is this all the exhibitors? How do they weed some out?
No, so this is all the junior showmanship.
All the juniors in the show. Nobody gets weeded out until after this.
Right. So whenever they're doing junior showmanship, everybody is allowed to be in it. Mm-hmm. That's why they had to do the 2 heats for the cattle.
Okay. Well, they all look pretty good out there, don't they?
Yeah, they really do.
We getting them all in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Angle on the lens is not quite as wide as I would have wanted, but
yeah, it's getting pretty good though. I mean, I get over to where those pig pens are, and then kind of just down the line right in front of us if you're going towards the wall.
Mm-hmm. All of them set up, braced, as they say.
Let's give these juniors a round of applause. Very, very good group, top to bottom. I think there's a few different options, a few worthy individuals. To me, there's a pair that services fairly quick. I mean, they come in the gate running and they're ready to go. And then every time we get them on the move, they're appropriate as far as speed and position, and give themselves some space. And the animals cooperate well. We get them parked. Everything's right. Our lines are good. Our touch is good, and every view I try to look, they give it to me, and they handle them quite well. To me, there's one of them that just gets a little more intense with it, maybe gets a little more handle out of her particular animal, and just does everything just one notch better. Young lady in the peak will be your champion. Young lady in front of her will be reserved.
All right, so that's going to be the 2 Butler girls.
So that's junior and senior?
No, that's just junior.
Junior.
Yeah.
Okay. First and
Champion
second.
Junior showmanship, Emily Butler. Reserve junior showmanship, Katie Butler.
So Emily Butler is
Katie
grand champion showmanship for juniors, and then reserve is Katie Butler.
That's pretty extraordinary.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether he knew they were sisters or not. Going to the senior showmanship. They really work for that 2, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's important to them. They like winning the showmanship.
Yeah.
We've only got 3 seniors.
And you know what? Back to how I was telling you about how I preferred showmanship over the other stuff is I think that's just, it's a little bit more rewarding because it shows that, you're doing everything in what you can control to where it's the best you can be. And I mean, there's some of those kids that, they win the class, but you're watching them as they're showing. Not here, though, but there were some jackpots I went to where those kids would just be popping on the animals and stuff trying to get them.
Really?
Yeah, and those kids would never win showmanship.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, yeah. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Out there in senior showmanship, Dalton Lesperance and
Wyatt Williams and Cassidy Butler.
Cassidy Butler.
I'm really pulling for Dalton on this one.
Yeah, he showed what? He showed 2, didn't he?
Yeah.
And his animals were always just set up, just no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, he's a really good showman.
Want to thank our sponsors, Hargis Trucking, Western Equipment, Scribner Construction, Ochiltree County General Hospital, Lemon Law, Boxwell Brothers, Panhandle Producers, Plains Land Bank, United Food Store, Perry's and Ochiltree Chamber of Commerce, Equity Exchange, First Bank Southwest, Interstate Bank, and Motor Parts for helping to bring the broadcast to you today.
Special thanks to PTCI for hooking us up with a pretty good internet connection.
Absolutely. They had to bring it in special.
Yep.
Gary Murray had to climb up on the barn in a 10-degree temperature, or 12 anyway, yesterday, and went over and above. We really appreciate it.
Helping us bring y'all a better picture and a
better sound and everything.
Yeah.
And we have us a winner.
Definitely 3 extremely deserving individuals to be in contention here, and I encourage you to give them all a round of applause right quick before we sort through. Nothing against the other 2, but in my opinion, there's one that wins fairly easily. I think everything's just done a little bit better. I'm not saying there's a huge difference, but when you add up all the little things that are out here and everything that this involves, it's just a little bit better at all of them. We get down to the next 2 for reserve, it gets a little bit harder and a little more challenging, and where those 2 sort themselves when we get them on the move. I think one has a little better control of their animal, one has a little better gait and a little better motion, and presents their animal just a little better. Young man on the left's going to win, young lady's going to be reserved.
Yep. Dalton Lesperance, the winner, and Cassidy Butler came in second. Dalton Lesperance does a good job. They all do. It's a degree of showmanship, and there wasn't much difference between it. Didn't seem to me, but a little bit like
Take about a 5-minute break here.
Isaiah, I thought Dalton did an outstanding job of showmanship. All right, so that does it for the show, the sheep show. We're going to the goats.
We'll take here about a 5-minute break.
And okay, he's going to take a 5-minute break. So how about we take a 5-minute musical interlude and maybe even go get some food or something. But we'll be back. I tell you what, David, hit a couple of songs and then we'll take it back.